Welcome back to Immigrants Unplugged. My name is Saul, and here is where we dive into the stories of immigrants who have shaped and are shaping the Okanagan community and beyond. Today, I'm excited to introduce a truly remarkable guest, Trophy Ewila. Trophy's journey from Uganda to Canada is inspiring, not just for the challenges he's overcome, but for the impact he makes along the way. From being the first Black and international student president of the UBC Students' Union to co-founding the African Ubuntu Association, Trophy is a trailblazer who brings his love for culture, community, and creativity into everything he does. He's also a founding member of Kinfolk Nation, an artistic group that tells the powerful stories of the African and Caribbean diaspora through music, poetry, and performance. In this conversation, we'll explore his journey, his passion for cultural exchange, and the lessons he's learned while living, working, and studying in this beautiful country. So grab a seat and let's get unplugged with Trophy Ewila. Trophy, welcome to Immigrants Unplugged. It is a great honor for me having you in my studio. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You went away this weekend. I guess is that was pleasure or just was for
work?
Yeah.
Because we're going to perform. And after performing, we did some community work out in Ulush.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was good for the first time to be out in Ulush, to be invited out there and to see the work that's going on the land out there. So
are you part of the band?
Yeah, we are part of a group called Kinfolk Nation.
Mm-hmm.
We came together as artists. How we work is what we call Ubuntu, which means I am because you are. So the idea is that everybody shines and that a constellation is more beautiful than one single star. So I am because you are, so you do your part really well so that I remember to always do my part really well. And it started when, we had a friend of mine, we had gone on a trip. And as soon as we went on this trip, there was this moment we were sitting all together and one of us started singing. And I've never had someone sing like that, or the way it made me feel. And the next person started to do poetry. And to hear music and poetry together was so powerful that, I was like, yo, you guys need to do something. So that's how the journey started. And now, up to now, we've been able to travel around BC. But the most beautiful thing has been the connection with Indigenous nations and communities and all the people doing the work out there. So that's what we're doing. So we had part of it was a show. We were performing at a concert. Part of the work is what they're doing is they're reoccupying the land that they had. That was there. So she's moving out there and working.
There's a main topic that you're talking about talking to Ubuntu. There's also another big topic here that I would like to touch base in this. You're coming all the way from Uganda,
yeah,
right? And you notice how the culture here is working towards to protect the land and either to create awareness and to maintain their traditions. I'm talking about First Nation.
I think what it has done for me is, or the opportunity for me coming from where I've come from to connect with Indigenous culture here is to be able to look at myself or to look at my culture as well. There's similarities in terms of us trying to all revitalize our culture. And the beauty of that is, for example, with the Silk people, they say all my relations. And when you go deeper to understand, it's similar to what we say when we say Ubuntu, because all my relations. And so we're seeing how we're all having to go deeper within our culture to understand our humanity and our experience really well. But I never expected that. That was not my expectation coming here. I expected what was marketed and presented. I just came for school. But I didn't think that this would be where my journey would go. Even when I came to school, there were conversations, but, about Indigenous culture, about the stories. But it seemed like something in the books only. But, there was a desire and connecting with people and connecting with friends and following my heart, the depth of the heart of what I wanted to do led me here. So I'm really honored to have been a witness to to the indigenous cultures and stories.
Learning about that, and at the same time, you sharing about your experiences.
Yes.
And at the same time, try to create this awareness with the surrounding, with the other people. Why you don't tell me about your journey from Uganda to Canada and what pursued to study at UBCO?
So I came to study economics straight out of high school. This was one of the places UBC had applied, and why UBC Okanagan specifically is because my school had nominated me to come to this campus specific. I liked the idea of 2 campuses. I was like, why? I had never heard of that before. But what was also nice was I said, if I come into the Okanagan, I then have a reason to go visit the bigger cities. But if I go to the bigger city, there may not be a reason to go into the smaller cities or within the interior of BC. Just psychologically, that's how I thought. So I thought it gave me an opportunity to see another side of this country that most people don't get a chance to. So I also wanted to take a chance and have a different experience. But I liked UBC. And so I came over here to study economics. My plan was to finish and go back home. I thought, maybe I could stay for a bit, get some experience, but my dream was actually to go back home.
What happened?
I met some really good people. I connected with some people, really good friends. And the projects that we started is what kept me here longer, because I felt like I haven't finished what I want to really finish. My first experience here was I connected with a friend he became a friend, but he was starting a clothing company. And when he was starting this company, I remember he came to the house ask me and my friend. He says, I would like to start this business. And that's something I never wanted to do, clothing, because I thought it didn't make sense. There's so much competition. But so when I asked him a lot of the questions, the answers weren't good for me, but the passion and there's something in his eyes that I saw. His name is Yao Brenu Yamoa. That inspired me. I said, you know what? Let me learn. I actually have no experience. Let me learn. And I remember we started with a small event. I think the first amount of money was $500. Had put in the clothes, and the first night we sold out.
Wow.
And after a few years, it got to a point where we had a lot of people coming in, did partnerships with businesses, local businesses downtown, who are reaching out now because of how the growth and reach was happening, and the impact it was happening at the university and now in the wider Kelowna. But what that also taught me a lot was art, because first what was important was the art. The making, the creating, that was the most important thing, and that's what people were connected to, because the art is the expression of someone, what they put their soul into their work, and then that's what people are drawn to. So people are not really buying the clothes, they were buying this connection to this idea. Basement Heads were, because he was young, and when he came in as an immigrant, he didn't have a lot of money. So when his rich friends would come, he would have to create, the game, because he didn't have as much toys. And so the idea was the Basement Head, we are dreaming. So that experience taught me that, I can imagine something and I can take a chance at trying. And what that also showed me, I felt like I got a very good introduction into business school. So when I'm in economics class and we're looking at macroeconomics, microeconomics, I have a direct experience, because someone who was an immigrant longer than me gave me an opportunity to learn directly from the work. And now the clothing company is in Vancouver with the name as Sesa, which is a Ghanaian symbol for transformation. That means transformation. But to be able to see that, we got a chance to try something and to see it grow and still here.
Do you feel that you got that type of connection to the art, with love, before when you were growing up in Uganda? Or do you feel that connection started here in Canada?
So I think it started here, because what I understood about art was it's not about how skilled something or how beautiful something looks, but it is the depth of expression or what the meaning is, what the level of heart someone puts into something, and what are they trying to say. I think the message as well. So it's not just about the skill. Someone may have a good skill in talking, or a good skill at drawing, but if the picture does not connect with you, it doesn't really matter, right? And so that's when I realized that art has the power for connection, to allow us connect differently, because it's a different language more than just the words. Because sometimes we can get lost in words, but there's a deeper understanding that we can create using these different forms of communication. And that's important because coming as an immigrant, the communication, because of the cultural differences, communication is very difficult. So how do you get ideas across without being misunderstood, where you can actually come into a space and bring positive impact because of what the experiences you're bringing as well into a new space. So that's what it really taught me.
How was your experience to be the first Black international student president of the UBC SUO?
Yeah, well, no, it was a very good, I think it's something that I'm proud of accomplishing because of what it taught me mostly. It says, one, if you really put your mind to something, you can achieve it. But also, just because you're from somewhere different does not mean you cannot express yourself enough and put your ideas out there that the community can see value. So because we are coming in from somewhere else, there's value we bring. And this is why, to me, Canada is a very interesting place, because you have the capacity to attract so many cultures, different people, and mostly, they're attracting really the best out of other countries, And so there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of new ideas, a lot of deep perspectives. Yeah, to me, it was really good because I could prove to myself that, okay, yes, it is true. We can communicate, we can understand each other, and you can bring your ideas. And if the community sees value, they are open and they'll take.
I think the experience that the students get here in Kelowna from the university, it makes them to feel connected to the other community, the other society, because...
Yeah, and also when students come together, it's a chance and an opportunity to practice, to try. Especially when you're together, it's easier where you learn how to collaborate. You learn how to, fail together. Because then from there you realize, oh, that's not the end. I've actually gotten a lesson. And then we can try again and keep trying. And also a chance for you to finally, you've left home, you're by yourself. And then you really learn to trust yourself.
Yeah.
I think that was something beautiful.
You've been involved in so many amazing initiatives, right? Like the African Caribbean Student Club.
Yes.
What motivates you to take leadership roles in those groups?
It's a good question. I think sometimes I feel unsettled or a sense of responsibility. And I feel like I'm abandoning what I'm supposed to do. I think that's sort of how I feel, because it comes in my heart. At least I didn't really want to be the forefront when when the club started, but I see the value of what I can bring. For example, my goal was I just wanted us to have community so that we don't feel lost. So you can create the events that you're looking for, or if you're looking for the music that's not there, you're feeling alone in this new place. How can we come and then feel connected, feel ourselves, so we can feel, even if you go to class and you have some difficulties, you can come back and connect. So my intention was really just to bring people together. And in bringing people together, I guess you learn how to host, you have to be patient. So unintentionally, I developed some of these skills. And then when the opportunities come for leadership, you're prepared because you're already doing it without, without intentionally wanting the position. Because responsibility is really hard and it's often difficult. Sometimes you're the only one who understands, what you're having to deal with. But it also gives you the opportunity to grow stronger. So when more situations come, you can handle. But also the value of it is that you see how people can come and support you as well when you're down. That is the value of what I've seen, that leadership is not really being at the forefront, but it's being of service. When everybody can't, that's just the one who's willing to, take that extra step. So that's how that experience has been.
What do you think is the one of the most rewarding values or skills that you gain during those experiences?
Patience, knowing, okay, let me wait, just wait a little bit. Because sometimes, yes, you wait and let's say someone has done something that offends you or something like that. When you're patient and then you see them apologize, or you see someone starting something and they're not really good, but you allow them to, or the space to try, and then, few years or after some time, they are the best at it. They were actually the better person to do it. You just saw them at the beginning, and then now you enjoy the value of what they had, they bring. So patience.
What does it mean for you to share stories, African and Caribbean stories through art with the Kinfolk Nation?
Again, I think what's beautiful is that we are carrying stories, and stories are what we live in our life. You're born. When they ask you to describe yourself, the first thing you talk about is the things you've done, right? And it's always a story. So the value of that is what I'm saying is I'm knowing that our time right now, this present time, is going to be future history. So the value of that for me is now I have to enjoy or hold the value of me being alive right now, because it's a historical event. It doesn't mean everybody has to know, but these are stories for the future. And all I have is this time now. So the beauty of even art, even like from your experience, you carried those pieces of art, and without any words, that piece tells a story of what people have been doing. So in a way, I feel a sense of responsibility, but also I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to, carry stories through me, especially through music and bringing, all other art forms, and be able to have stories all around me all the time, because stories bring experiences. Sometimes when you're lost, it's a story that you'll hold on and remember to get yourself back in. And stories are the gift of the world, I believe. Even knowledge. Sometimes the best way to pass out knowledge is how well you tell the story. Because if it's not told well, then we'll miss the connection. So I believe stories are life. We are just walking through a story. When we die, they tell our story of what you did. So that's why it's very important for me, because I'm here now. And this is the life that we are living, and it's very valuable. So I'm trying to live the best kind of life that I can. That's just how I feel. And I always believe that, I think I read it somewhere, that a life lived is a life well lived. So I'm getting better at not beating myself up for so many mistakes. And just, that this is all I have. This is all the life we have. If it's gone, then I don't want to leave yet. I still want to be here. I still want to learn new things. I want to experience more. And that's the best gift I can give for my family and the people who came before me, for going through what they went through for me to live.
What is the biggest lessons you've been learned to get adapted to new cultures?
I think that one of the biggest lessons for me is how similar we are as human beings. We all have the same emotions. It's just the way we express ourselves is different because of, the geography you've been and all of that. But another thing about that is, coming into a new culture, you get to look at your culture for the limits it also has. Because sometimes we box ourselves and keep repeating the same things because that's all we know. And it's scary to accept new ideas and change. But being out of it and being in a new culture gives me a new way of how to look at life in itself. And so that I'm not also limited to just one culture, but to get the knowledge from different spaces and see how best to apply it in my condition, right? Because there's wisdom from everywhere. And sometimes the wisdom that is going to come for one place will come from outside. What I mean is that someone who's be able to look at it without having been there for so long. So that's the value. That's what I think it has given me, being able to adapt and learn that, we are just all humans, and actually trying to fit in and paying attention and watching gives you a new perspective. a new way of thinking and looking at life. Yeah.
And it's so true, you know, as a humans,
Yeah.
we're pretty much, we got emotions. And like you say, each person will have different personality, but just moving around, like living in different countries and visiting different continents and get to see that it create a huge impact in our experience to open our mind more. All the ones who hasn't had this opportunity about the challenges that it takes to get adapted to a new community, a new culture, a new country, a new weather, a new type of food.
Yeah.
I want to go back a little bit to the Ubuntu,
Yes.
to the Nation, a group of artists. What is one of the programs that you have already going that gets you excited?
All of them keep me excited in a way. But what I like is the kids camp is the one that touched me more, because in touching or engaging with the kids, families, the parents come together, which showed me how connected. You know, you think you're just focusing on the kids, but the parents come and see new needs. And also what I saw is then the parents come and want to support in many ways. So for example, one time after the camp, there's one of the parents who had a baby, and other parents came to support her when that happened, but because of the kids having a place to play. So that's where I saw like Ubuntu for real. I am because you are. Just because we are connecting with them, then there's all these new connections coming. And I think that's what at that time said, oh yeah, we need to still keep working with the kids, because they are the ones that, you know, that's I think as a parent, that's mostly why you wake up, you know, or the thing that's on your mind the most, at least, you know. So yeah, that's one that I really, really am appreciative of.
I really admire how passionate you sound for this type of project.
Yeah.
And again, it's a chain. You know, one brings another one.
Yeah.
The other ones brings another one.
Yeah.
And the chain just keep growing though. How you maintain this type of energy, like in your everyday life? How are you bringing this to your community work?
First I'll say my partner, because every day, and my partner because she always has a lot of music in her. So it's where to put the music and to want to share the music as well. Not just because it's the music, but that's what I think that's what keeps me alive, is having all this, the gift of all of that to come and share. But my partner, what gives me the energy is it allows us also a chance to play in the dreams with the dreams that we have. Saying, okay, we want to have community here. So it gives us a chance to always be there. And then when you meet new people and you see them connecting and you also connect with them, it gives you more of that fire and the fuel to keep going. And actually, because you meet someone, you connect with them, and then you see something, like a child does something that you never expected, or you connect with another person and they're like, oh, you could think of something this way, or they're doing something really special. Yeah, that I think that's the part. And then when you share stories, especially sometimes when you're together or the children are sharing the music together, and then the whole room just feels connected. It's a powerful feeling.
They say there's always, behind a good man, there's always a good woman.
Yes.
So it's another thing, like, for more that we can try to go in the same path ourselves, we need the support. We need the partner. We need the person who literally come to give you the push, receive the guy, or to receive the tip, or to receive the advice.
Yes.
You know, that it kind of help you out to go to like the different challenges we get to see every day.
Yeah.
What is our next project that it get you excited in the next 12 months?
In the next 12 months. So right now we are working on something called Abantu. It means people. And what this is going to be like a festival of stories. So we are connecting with different artists from around the world, actually. And we want to bring artists and bring more art, spaces for arts where people can experience it. But we're also looking at new spaces where art can be shared. So that what we're trying to do is how are we looking at things differently. That is going to, from film to music and poetry, paintings and art as well. So that's something we're looking forward to. In fact, this October, we've been invited by an artist, Marielle Belanger, to Okanagan Indian band, who's working on a beautiful project to bring art and different art forms to the land. So that is giving us a new step, collaborating with a mentor who's gonna allow us to even learn better. And so we're using this opportunity to not just bring people together and try, but also learn. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, because it's going to be an annual festival, and the goal is to get better every year.
Now tell me, you mentioned Ubuntu.
Yes.
And now you mentioned early Ubuntu.
Yes.
Ubuntu means people. Ubuntu means
I am because you are. So
tell me where they come from.
Okay, so all of these are Bantu words. Bantu people stretch from East, Central, down to Southern Africa, and of course part of the West as well. So the Bantu people, you'll find that the word Omuntu, Abantu, people meaning a person, Omuntu, person. So you'll see similarities from all these different cultures spreading across Africa. So Abantu is specifically from Uganda, a tribe called the Baganda, and it means people. So what we are saying is how people move with Ubuntu. So we are trying to get the people saying, look, this is just about people and expression, but how we connect and move as people. So that, because sometimes we are hoping for how the world will change and how we move differently, but how can we create the spaces where we can feel that, imagine that, so that we can dream it, feel it together, and hope that, what we are looking for can change. And that's why we're saying Avant, because we're saying it's people and stories, and being open to people's experiences and stories. Because, on this journey, I've met so many different people, and you see sometimes people are misunderstood because you haven't given them a chance to open their book and tell you more of their story, because you're judging it from the cover or, the way they've shown up in the beginning. But then when you go deeper, you realize, wow, there's a whole well of experiences, that I never expected humans to be doing.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
If you had to share one piece of advice to a new immigrants adjusting to life in Canada, what it will be?
Be patient with yourself. If the beginning may be tough, but it gets better with time. So move slow. You'll get it all together with time, That's what I would say.
That's a big key word, patient.
Yeah.
And it took me time to develop it.
Yeah.
When I came to this country. I know, Trophy, that there's a lot to talk, and I would like to get to know you more, and I would like to mention more of the community you are creating and the programs and the events that they're coming. But time is running.
Yes.
Before you say goodbye, when you hear the word Canada, what does that mean for you?
That's a good question. A
Is your new home?
possibility.
A possibility.
Yeah, possibility. And why I say that is, it's a space that's attracting so many people. New people coming in, or, is around the world economically stable and all these things. However, there's the possibilities of how this brings of how we as humans can look at ourselves. And the most important thing why I say with possibility is how we can address our past. So as an individual, there are things we may have done when we were younger that, you're not proud of, but how do you come to terms with that so that you can have a better future? And especially because I've been doing a lot of work with indigenous communities, is how do you look at your past and how are you going to be able to sit down to address it to make the future better? And that is where I think the future lies, in the courage to look at your past and make right with it. Yeah.
You are a great sample, and I feel so proud to have you to keep learning from leaders in my community who carry with passion their roles and looking forward to maintain and develop, more of our skills and connectivity to others. I really appreciate your time here today. I also looking to join you in the next events that you have. I would like to invite you if you got anything else to add before we say goodbye.
No, thank you very much. And I also like the work you're doing because you're creating the space for, that's something we are hoping to do, intercultural, intergenerational, interdisciplinary. So see, we're having that intercultural engagement. As a leader as well in your community, there are things that we learn both as immigrants and the skills that we need to share so that we can bring value to the land here, to the space here as well. So what you're doing is creating the platform for our knowledges to cross. And I really appreciate that. And I look forward to connecting with you further. Yes.
Well, thank you very much. And this is all about collaboration and working together. And I think we're going to be stronger just working and towards the same goals,
Yes.
create community and maintain our roots and our cultures and pass it to our kids and keep growing because this is Canada. This is a multicultural country.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Trophy.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next episode of Immigrants Unplugged. My name is Saul, and my guest today, Trophy.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah.